Welcome back to AI for Founders. I'm Ryan Estes. Picture a Friday night at your favorite pizza spot. The line's out the door, the cooks are yelling, and the phone won't stop ringing. 40% of those calls are about to go unanswered. That's not just noise, that's lost revenue. Enter Christian Wiens, founder and CEO of Loman AI, a company that's turning all that chaos into cash. His voice AI answers every call, knows your favorite order, and never calls in sick. In just 1 year, his team in Austin has raised $3.5 million, onboarded over 1,000 restaurants, and is cutting labor costs by nearly 17%, all while boosting phone order revenue by more than 20%. In this episode, we dig into how Christian and his co-founders built one of the fastest growing voice AI startups in America, and what every founder can learn about timing, product market fit, and the future of voice as the primary human interface. If you're building an AI, SaaS, or service automation, or you've ever wondered what it takes to build a profitable startup that actually answers the call, this conversation is for you. Now, if this episode left your neurons sizzling, join the Founders Brain Trust at aiforfounders.co. This is where insight turns into systems and ideas into funded startups. Sign up before your next big pivot. Future you will thank you. The newsletter is at aiforfounders.co. And if this chat made you rethink what's possible with AI, drop us a 5-star review. It's the easiest growth hack we've got. Now, every founder's got a story, but if nobody hears it, it never compounds. That's where Kitcaster comes in. We book visionary founders, CMOs, and CEOs on the world's top podcasts, the shows your customers already listen to and trust. Each interview becomes a trust-building asset, a content engine, and a sales funnel disguised as a conversation. You don't need to chase followers, you need to start talking on the right mics. Whether you're raising a round, launching a product, or scaling your brand, Kitcaster gets you in the ears of the decision makers who matters most. Ready to amplify your voice? Visit kitcaster.com/application and let us schedule your next interview on the world's best podcasts. Here we go. Enjoy this conversation with Christian as much as I did. All right. Coffee is great, but coffee won't prep your meetings for you. It'll just keep you awake while you panic, hastily scrolling through LinkedIn at 6:59 a.m. Ambient, however, will prep your meetings. Each morning you get a founder-tuned briefing sourced overnight from your calendar, your meeting history, and the web. It's like walking into every call with a cheat sheet that you didn't have to write. No more scrambling, no more guessing, just context, confidence, and focus. And if you're raising money, ambient investor dossiers are an absolute must-have. You'll know the investor's portfolio, their interests, and their latest moves before you even step into the room. You'll even get a heads up on red flags. Think of it as the caffeine upgrade that your calendar actually needs. Prep while you sleep, perform while you're awake. Sign up for free at ambient.us. Go check it out at ambient.us. That's ambient.us. Christian, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Ryan. Excited to have a conversation today.
Yeah, 100%. I looked at your product. It looks beautiful. The website's beautiful. As an intro, talk to us about Loman. What exactly does your company do?
Yeah, so Loman is the world's best voice AI agent for restaurants. So what we do is we answer the phone for restaurants that do everything from quick service, counter service, or full service. So we built an generative AI agent that can answer the phone for a restaurant and take an order, whether it's like a pizza restaurant that needs to take phone orders for pickup and delivery. We can take reservations. We can answer questions when customers have them. We essentially remove the need for the front of house employees at a restaurant to answer the phone, because right now it's this massive kind of productivity suck on anybody on a restaurant. If anybody listening has worked in a restaurant, you know exactly how problematic phone calls can be. You can only do one thing at a time when you're on the phone. Like, you have to get on the phone. There's a million things going on in the background. You got somebody filling up a soda machine. You got somebody handing out food. You've got somebody taking the trash out. You got somebody at the counter, at the register. You got the cooks in the back yelling at you. Like answering the phone during a busy Friday night at a restaurant is one of the hardest things to do, which means that around 40% of phone calls go completely unanswered. And if you add, it's somewhere around 40 to 50% go completely unanswered and or put on hold. Um, and so if you're a customer calling a restaurant, or if you want to place an order or get a reservation, right? There's a ton of reasons you would still call. Around 30% of people still call the restaurant rather than place an order online or come into the restaurant to order their food. I think a lot of us younger, I mean, I guess I'm not super young anymore, but a lot of the younger generation, right, would be like, nobody ever calls restaurants anymore. But actually, around a third of all revenue for restaurants still comes through the phone. We just make it easy to handle for the restaurant and make it a better experience for the customer on the other end of the phone with tools like generative AI, right? And allowing us to use the APIs of some of these LLMs. Like we can actually turn what used to be like a really horrible experience, like calling into a restaurant and maybe getting like a robot IVR, we can turn that into like a Michelin star level guest experience where we remember your name, we remember your card information, we know what you like to eat, we know your dining habits, what your family is like, and we can kind of personalize a conversation just for you at the restaurant. So that's a super long explanation, but I wanted to give you as much as I could.
No, it's great. It's fantastic. And to that point, I mean, a couple of things stood out. Yeah, when you're calling somebody and they're jamming, not only are they irritated, but you feel bad. You're like, I want to order something, but like now I feel like I'm bothering you. And since COVID, to your point, like a significant amount of restaurants' revenue is coming from pickups and takeout orders. All the good spots in Denver, like if you go in there 6 o'clock and you're having dinner, you just see like bags coming out of the kitchen to all those DoorDash drivers. So those phones are blowing up. Now, to your point, this is kind of a solution people have had forever, but you get lost in kind of a phone tree. So tell me
Yep.
about like, technically, how you're solving for some of the things that maybe plagued earlier models like latency or like
Mhm.
push one for this, and push two for that. Like how truly conversational is the product?
Yeah, sorry. I probably didn't explain it well enough in the beginning. Like, it is not a phone tree or IVR in any sense of the word. It's a completely generative AI driven conversation. So, our agents are built to answer the phone. Like, let's say you have a pizza place called Ryan's Pizza. It would answer the phone and say, "Hi, this is Ryan's Pizza. How can I help you?"
Nice.
That's it. Or whatever you want to make it say at the beginning, right? And if the person wants to place a pickup order, the AI would go, "Great, what can I get for you today?" It's literally like speaking to a human, except that that AI agent, unlike the human that would have answered that phone, the AI agent never gets sick. It never calls out of work because it broke up with its boyfriend or girlfriend. It never has a bad day and an attitude over the phone. You, as a diner, when you're calling into that restaurant, you don't feel bad staying on the phone with it for a little bit of time and asking it questions about the menu. Maybe you've never been there before. Maybe you're wondering what are the best things on the menu? What does everybody order? Our AI agent, it ingests information about the restaurant. So we plug in directly into the point of sale system. So we integrate directly with Toast, Spot On, Square, Clover, SkyTab, OpenTable, like just the big kind of POS and reservation management systems. That allows us to pull a bunch of information from the restaurant into our own kind of backend, and that enables us to know the menu. We can know like what's called like prep time, so like how long it'll take until an order is ready. Um, we know when things are 86 or I mean they go out of stock, right? So if like I don't know, maybe some ingredient is out of stock, so then that pizza is pushed out of stock by the staff in the restaurant. Our AI agent knows that in real time, so it won't sell it anymore. Um, and so it's able to ingest kind of all of that information, and the latency is like sub 500 millisecond.
Wow.
So it's almost too fast in some cases, like the turn switching, like um, so we're working on making that actually even better because sometimes it's actually too quick. People like they can pause when they're talking. But yeah, sub 500 millisecond latency. we're essentially, the AI essentially knows everything it needs to know about the restaurant. It can answer any questions that the customer has, not only about the menu, but about like, hey, where do I park? Or do you show the NFL games on Sunday? Whatever it is. We can also take the orders, and then we can also do reservations, and it's fully end to end. So when we take an order, it goes to the kitchen, it goes to the POS, it prints in the kitchen, the food gets made, the customer shows up. We can also take a secure payment over the phone. PCI compliant, we could take a payment over the phone. So if the customer is like doing delivery, for example, we could take the payment up front, send the order to the kitchen, and the restaurant driver gets dispatched. We have our own internal delivery through a third party that's set up. So kind of like Uber Eats and DoorDash. So yeah, we kind of handle everything you would need end to end for any customer that's calling your restaurant.
Amazing. And you talked about memory. So like if I put in, it knows my phone number when I call in. So it will remember like what my order was last time. It remembers that my
Yeah.
wife liked double protein. It can do that?
Yeah, absolutely. And remember you by name. What's really cool and kind of most interesting about Loman versus maybe some of the other solutions on the market is like the inference abilities that we've built in. We call it like our inference engine. Like we're out of every call, we're saving a bunch of information about the caller. So, all of our phone calls say like, hey, this call is being recorded for quality assurance purposes. So that people know that we're recording the information. And essentially, like, we'll remember your name. We'll remember what you've ordered in the past. We're taking context around the call. So if like we hear things like kids screaming in the background or like some other interesting like outside factors that maybe aren't just you speaking into the phone, we can take all of that into account. We build a profile of you as a diner. And then we can use that to make your experience better on the phone, but also for the restaurant, then we can use that to upsell you items that we think that you are more likely to order the next time you call. And eventually, this isn't happening right now, but eventually we can use it to do personalized one-to-one marketing, remarketing, outreach, get you to come back to the restaurant. But right now we're focused 100% on phones.
Oh, it's great. It's really interesting too, because like you said, like, people will be like, well, why would you call a restaurant? But truly, this is kind of like the next gen of what AI is going to be, right? I mean, like, I mean, typing sucks. Let's just put it that way. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to go to a website and do two-factor authentication and I got to log in with my password and download the app, dude. I'm over that. I just want to talk.
Yeah.
So like if this works for ordering food, is particularly, I mean, this is like a great use case because there's a lot of complexities. You call up, it's like, oh, my daughter's not eating anything with bread. My wife, she's vegan. I personally want
Yep.
steak on everything. What's something I can order? You know what I mean? Like it's pretty complicated to the point that if I really got intentional, I would feel guilty of like laying out all
Yeah.
the dietary restrictions to a person. Usually I'm just gonna be like, dude, you tell me what to get, man. I just want what's good. So
Yeah.
people are saying like, hey, why would people call a restaurant? But I think that like more and more people are gonna be using their voice for everything, interacting with AI.
I completely agree with this. I mean, part of the reason we started the company, like, I'm a big believer in voice as a modality for interacting with the digital world, like just in general. Like, it's so I use everything. I'm the guy that's like talking into my phone to like send a text message rather than like pushing like typing with my thumbs, right? I also like use Whisper Flow, which is like this tool where you can just like speak into your keyboard, right? And so like or into computer that and it'll just type and it'll remember like the way that you've written emails in the past and like format directly. Like I use voice for everything. It's a much faster, more there's more context built into it. It's faster and more it's much more effective and efficient modality for interacting with each other. I mean, that's why we're doing this right now, video and voice, right? It would be this is much more interesting. You get much more of the context. You learn much more as a viewer of the of this podcast than you would if me and you were just sending emails back and forth, right? Like one of the things I always think about is like, I don't know if you've ever seen on Twitter those like old tech emails, like Steve Jobs sending an email to like Wozniak, or like Elon sending an email to like Sam Altman or something. Like, yeah, we see the email. Oh, could you imagine if we were like actually be able to see like Elon speaking those words to him or something? Like, you just get so much more of what's going on with voice than you do through typing. Um, until we get telepathy down, like voice is definitely the best modality. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, everyone loves to talk about vision, the pitch, the funding round, but you know what gets zero love? The actual product build. That magical, terrifying phase where nothing works, the docs are out of date, and you've asked your dev team, how's it going, for the 47th time today on Slack. That's where Code Story comes in. It's a podcast for startup founders who know that building the thing is the thing. Hosted by Noah Labhart, Code Story goes deep with tech leaders who've been through it, shipping real products, surviving messy launches, and figuring out what actually works and when you're on the edge of chaos. If you're building now or ever plan to, you'll want these stories in your earballs. Search Code Story wherever you get your podcasts or visit codestory.co, because founders talk vision, but builders tell code stories. Okay, I've got a confession. As a podcaster and founder, I'm constantly meeting incredible people, guests, listeners, or other entrepreneurs. But here's my little secret. I'm terrible at following up. My inbox is basically a graveyard of missed opportunities. Does that sound like you? You meet someone amazing, exchange emails, have great intentions, and then life happens. 6 months later, you're kicking yourself thinking, I should have stayed in touch with that person. This is exactly why I started using warmstart.ai. And honestly, it's transformed how I think about my network. Instead of letting relationships go cold, Warmstart analyzes my existing contacts and helps me identify who I should be reaching out to and why. It even writes the outreach messages for me. But here's the key. I review everything before it goes out. I'm not just talking about this because they're a sponsor. I'm talking about it because watching a healthcare executive use this to build his entire advisory board in one weekend with 4 CEO signups made me realize I was leaving money on the table every single day. Your network is your net worth, but only if you actually nurture it. Check out warmstart.ai, use code AIFF to get $50 off your first month. Stop letting your relationships turn into missed revenue. Yeah, 100%. I mean, to the point that during COVID, I was attending Zen sitting sessions. And, Zen is an interesting tradition because it has disciplic succession. You know what I mean? Like, you need a teacher to monitor you, because it's not like you go to the end zone and dunk on Zen. You know what I mean? There's to it. You have to have people kind of keeping an eye on you. But kind of what you found out over Zoom calls, like, you can actually, there's a kind of a transmission is possible. You know what I mean? Over space and time, because there's still something extra, with the video and the voice, the inflection. There's so much to it. Now, I'm kind of hung up because I want to be all in. I got Whisper Flow. I was trying to use it, but I'm also a little embarrassed with my requests and chat histories if I'm talking to GPT or whatever. If I'm whispering into my phone, give me the price comparison of 5 different inflatable pools. My wife could be like, what are you doing over there? It's like, dude, I don't want to explain it to you. So I end up typing a lot because I'm always doing weird stuff online, and I don't want people overhearing what I'm up to.
Yeah, for sure. Like, there's definitely, what's beautiful about this is there's definitely, it's situational, right? Like, if you're looking for a gift for your wife for her birthday and you're sitting next to her on the couch, you're not going to be speaking into your phone like, hey, find me a diamond necklace, whatever it is, right? Yeah, you're going to type. That's what's beautiful, is you can then go and use your fingers. I'm not saying never use your, never type. I just think I would much rather, right? At least when I'm communicating with another human, or communicating with, I guess in this case, an AI, and I expect it to be a human, right? If I'm calling a restaurant, and this is a beautiful thing. We have some metrics that show about 40% of our customers, the diners that call our customers, who are the restaurants, they don't know they're speaking to an AI because it's that good at
What's the courtesy
speaking.
around that? Is there AI courtesy that you should? What's your take on that? That you should announce that it is AI or not?
You know, I don't think so. I mean, I would say it drops. Well, humans have preconceived notion. This is why you shouldn't. From kind of a technical standpoint, like humans have preconceived notions, and one of the things we fight against as a company about what a robot on the phone is like. Right? When you call, I just like I wrote a LinkedIn post about this a while ago. Like I had probably the most frustrating interaction I've had in like years with a phone bot with CVS like 2 weeks ago. It was one of those phone trees, right? Press one for this, press two for that. Like speak into it, but like doesn't really like have anything. I spent literally like 28 minutes on the phone and I could not get to the pharmacist that I needed to speak to. And so I hung up so mad. And so humans have this like really preconceived, this bad preconceived notion of what it's like to talk to a robot on the phone. It's going to take them a while to learn like, oh wait, like this is like a conversational AI that I can talk to. It's not just as it's going to take them a while to start using ChatGPT over Google, right? Like and how they need to prompt ChatGPT a different way than they would if they were searching Google for something. You need to prompt an AI voice agent a little bit different and speak to it more naturally, like as if you were speaking to a human than you would if you're speaking to a IVR that's like, hey, I was talking to one yesterday for like I have an auto glass claim, right? I mean, that like a crack in a windshield. It's like, please name like where on the windshield the glass is cracked, and I was like, top right. If I was talking to a human, I would do it differently. I'm getting a little bit off topic, but basically, I don't think it lends itself well to um, making a smooth transition into a world where we're actually using these tools. From a privacy perspective, I don't really think there's a ton there either. Like it's not that like it's not like we are using your data to like inform this next conversation as much, right? Like it's not like, hey, Ryan ordered this yesterday. So if I'm talking to Stacy, hey, we have a customer named Ryan. He ordered these three things yesterday. Like we would never do that, right? So I don't think there's privacy concerns too much around it. And I also think if 40% of people don't know that they're speaking to an AI, like they're not, what they're going to be willing to divulge to a human is probably similar, if not more, to an AI. That's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah, that's interesting because I would do the opposite. Like if
The
I knew I'm
opposite.
talking
Okay.
to AI and it's good, I'd be like, oh, sweet, okay. Like now I really want to know, some serious inside baseball. I'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, when was the last time you got the seafood, shipment? Did you get it this morning? Okay, great. What's your favorite? Should I get the snapper? Should I get the bass? Because
Sorry.
you're not fearing the judgment from the staff because I don't know, like if I'm going to like a nice restaurant, I'm calling in, I'm getting reservations, I'm picking up takeout, whatever I'm doing, I want them to like me, you know what I mean? And I'm not being
Yeah.
annoying. And then I might also, if somebody's like, how spicy do you want it? And then me personally, it's a challenge. So I'm like, as spicy as you got, but really I want medium. You know what I mean? So if I'm talking to AI, I'll be like, okay, I want it medium. I'd be more comfortable. I don't feel like threatened and challenged by the robot.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. I think I 100% get where you're coming from here. I think the 60 to 70% of customers that when they're calling our agents, they understand that they're speaking to a quote robot or AI, right?
Sure.
It's really interesting to see how the conversation changes and how many more questions they ask and what they're willing to divulge. I still think um the the preconceived kind of notion that people have about robots on the phone, they're much more willing to bypass an AI, even if it like not give it a chance, I would say.
Yeah.
If they know it's AI up front versus just coming in thinking it's a human. So I
Can
totally get where you're coming from there too.
can you do it? I mean, like I had the exact same thing. I got stuck on a phone tree for the Red Cross. I'm trying to sign up for a blood donation, and it's like they can't find the thing. I just end up shouting into the phone, talk to human, talk to like if I
Yeah.
did that on here on Loman, would I be able to talk to a human, or are you just that's your only option?
No, we do absolutely give diners the ability to get through to a human, because there's a lot of situations where if you're not in the restaurant, you cannot know what's going on, right? So let's say I'm an employee at Ryan's Pizza and I'm 30 minutes late for my shift, right? Like if I'm calling into the restaurant to get to the manager, an AI, like sure, we could build something that could relay from the AI to the manager that someone that's going to be late. But the easier option is to, hey, I need the manager. Okay, we'll transfer to the manager's number. Or, hey, I have a complaint. We will, in some cases, a lot of our restaurants will take that down with the AI and then we can relay it to them through text.
Yeah.
But some of our restaurants want to handle those complaints directly with a human. So yes, there's transfer. We set up transfers where if a customer does really need to speak to a human, we absolutely allow them to. If and most of our customers want some form of that, right? So totally, I mean, it's been built into the product from the beginning.
Cool. I love it, man. I mean, yeah, it's interesting because I get very irritated from the antiquated phone
Yeah.
trees and stuff. But I love talking to AI. I find myself being much more creative and like wanting to push the boundaries and just like looping things together to kind of test the boundaries. So it's like a cool way to kind of discover a lot about a restaurant if you have the time and you're not taking anybody's time up. You can call, hey, what's the special? What's the most popular thing on the item? You've seen my order history. What do you think I should get? Like those kind of
Yep.
interactions is like perfect for AI, right? And let's talk about the
Oh,
AI,
I know.
your tech stack. Like, what are you using right now to kind of to feed your tool?
Yeah, I mean, we use all the foundation models or have used, like it's not like we're using all of them at the same time, but we've used and tested basically every foundation model you can think of. And we've tried OpenAI, we've tried Anthropic's models, we've tried Gemini, we've used open source models. We use different foundation models for different use cases and we fine tune them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of and then yeah, there's other tools that we use, right? Like Twilio and like for voice uh uh like for some of the voice infrastructure that we're using and you know LiveKit, DeepGram, stuff like that. I'm not gonna go too deep into our exact tech stack, but like those are some of the tools that we use. When it comes to foundation models, though, what we found the best is to test everything and specific use cases are good for specific models are good for specific use cases, and
Sure.
then we fine tune them. Um, yeah, I mean, like some of the early entrants into this game, this kind of like phone AI for restaurants game. Like there were some tools like 3 years before ChatGPT came out. We luckily timed it like 2 months or something after GPT-3 came out. And I can't remember exactly. It was just like right after it got good enough, I think, GPT 3.5. Um, and but these guys were literally building their own models for customers, right? And like and they would work horribly too, which is crazy. So it's a funny thing about timing in this industry, man. Like I see all these AI companies and like you kind of have to get lucky with the timing, right? Like you're if you're trying to build AI, but you don't, and an LLM can do the action that you need it to do, but you were 3 years early, so you're trying to use some other deep learning reinforcement, like something like else that's different. Like you're probably really behind the eight ball, and you probably spent a ton of money trying to do something when you
Yeah.
could have just you had no idea, but you could have just waited 3 years and then you'd have an API that costs, whatever it does to use ChatGPT's or OpenAI. So yeah, tech stack wise, like we're using a lot of we use the foundation models. A lot of really cool stuff out there for voice AI though. I mean, Cartesia's cool. Like we've been testing that. Like there's a
Copy
couple.
11 Labs, those guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
11 labs, we found like DeepGram, right? Like we have some former DeepGram people working here. And Yeah, it's been fun. It's been like a mix of like how we've kind of got like on the go to market side, like it's like all like former restaurant people, like first five sales guy at DoorDash, top President's Club over the last 5 years at Toast, like first salesperson at Talk, like, and then on the tech side, it's much more like come like people that have come from the voice AI world, like that have worked at um, like a Deepgram and like 11 Labs and stuff like that. So it's been a fun like process bringing everybody together and getting this team rolling.
Cool. Yeah, those legacy restaurant integrations are not exactly super tech forward. How's that been like working into those things?
I mean, it was hard from the beginning. Like, luckily now we have like the partnerships with Toast and the spot ons and the squares and the Clover, like the big ones and the open table finally. Like, and but in the beginning, it was like almost impossible. Like we kind of thought about it like as like, oh, should we build this like standalone solution from the point of sale system? This is how bad people wanted Loman, or if they still want Loman. A lot of times, what will happen is somebody will come to us and they'll use some point of sale system I've never heard of, right? The point of sale system market is crazy. There's literally over 500 companies competing, right? And, there's four that make up the top 60% of the market, right? Toast makes up like 20% of the market. Clover, Square, Spot On, like the big ones, they make up, the other 40% or whatever it is. But um, customer will come to us and say, "Hey, I want to use you for my four pizza places or my four sandwich shops. I use XYZ POS. Never heard of it. We don't integrate with it." My sales team will be like, "Look, we don't have an integration there. Like, unfortunately, like we have to work with the POS to make it work." Now, I used to hear this all the time. People would just go, "Can you email me the orders? Can you fax?" I had one guy say, "Can you fax me the order?" Can you
Hey,
text me the orders? I was like, this is, I mean, not only is it amazing, like that people are literally willing, like think that that's an option, but that one beautiful thing that I've noticed about Loman and like the quality of our solution versus some of the other solutions on the market. One of the things that like really solidified for me, like that this is like something worth continuing to build and just like making a mission. Around 20% of our customers, let's say it's actually closer to 15% of our customers, they switch the point of sale that they use because they want to use Loman. So they'll go out and
wow.
buy a $20,000 Toast system because they want to use the best voice AI on the market for restaurants. Um,
What
and
an endorsement.
that Right. It's huge. It's humongous. Like I had a guy, I had a guy do this super early on. Like he was like our 10th customer. And I was like, are you sure? Like that's like, you could also get like something that's cheaper. And he's like, no, if I want to do this, I'm going to do it right. I want to use you guys. Like, tell me what to get. And I'm like, look, Toast is going to be your best bet. Like, and so now we have a good relationship with the Toast team. Um, you know, uh, yeah, the integrations getting in there in the beginning was not simple. Like you really have to push hard on um, the right levers, and you just kind of have to know the right people. Um, that it's not a simple answer. Like we built some hacky solutions in the beginning, but we really quickly were able to actually get the integrations. Luckily, um, and now we actually have like the partnerships, which is what really matters to us. But yeah, it wasn't easy at first, and like these POSs, man, the restaurant industry is love it or hate it. Like it's probably decade behind in like from a technology perspective. I work my whole life like in AI companies or like cyber security companies working with like large enterprise or SaaS. These guys are always on like sort of like the cutting edge or like sort of like what's going on. Restaurants tend to be like 10 years behind. So a good example of this is like I've heard several owners tell me, yeah, like we didn't even like online ordering wasn't even like really established until COVID. So if you think about that, like these websites didn't have a way to order food until
Yeah,
2021.
I know.
And now it's like every day we're like, duh, like I just go on this guy's website and press like order something. It wasn't like that 5 years ago, four
Yeah.
years ago.
Interesting. It's funny to hear you talk about in the beginning, like you guys are a million years old. You were founded in the summer of 2024, and
Yeah, yeah, I know.
it looks like you raised 3.5 million in August. So like this
Yeah.
has happened very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're lucky enough to have like some really amazing growth. And all of it's inbound, which is like the craziest part. In the beginning, it was not, right? Like me and my co-founders started the company in early 2020, like early summer of 2024. So I think it was like April, May. Well, April was like the first customer, kind of design customer we got.
Yep.
Um, like a little bit about me, like I worked in restaurants from the time I was like not even allowed to work, so like sixth grade. I had aunt and uncle that owned a restaurant. I had a couple other family members that owned a restaurant. I was living in Southern California. My sister was working at this restaurant. She's like, you can come work here if you want. Like my mom and dad wanted me to get out of the house for the summer, and I had already finished basketball camp, and I was like, I want to buy a new surfboard. Like, can I make money? And so like they let me go out there and wash dishes. So I worked at this restaurant in from like the central coast of California for like basically from the time I was in sixth grade every summer and break until I left until I think sophomore year of college. Then I had like an internship or something. And I saw like the problems of this kind of like firsthand. And so when me and my co-founders saw like a demo of this voice AI stuff in early 2024, it was like pretty obvious to me up front, like that is that we wanted like this was going to be a good idea. Like it just made sense. I had seen the problem firsthand. I had felt the problem firsthand. So often we would unplug the phone from the wall in the summer because it's a beach town. Like it was just nuts. Like people were always calling us. We would literally take the phone off the hook. I would say Friday, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like that was like almost a sure thing. Um, and so I posted on this like small business Facebook group like in like the middle of 2020, like I think it's like I said, like April of 2024. And I said, hey, we built this thing. Like, is anybody interested in using it? Like, or trying it? I kid you not, within 30 minutes, it might even have been less. But definitely within 30 minutes, three restaurant owners had commented on my post and were like, yes, how do I get my restaurant on this? And I was like, oh, okay, ding, ding, ding. One of those people became our first customer in the our design customer. He's added all three of his locations today. He's been using us now for whatever, a year and a half or a year and a little 18 months, whatever. Um, the first 6 months, like I just sold, my two co-founders built, not the first 6 months, like the first 3 months, sorry. Like I built a scraper, scraped every single restaurant I could in my local area and every restaurant that was using like the specific point of sale system that we integrated with. Um, I cold called, cold emailed, although I'm a go-to-market person, so all the while I was kind of like laying the foundation for go-to-market, and now we are getting now all like we have a team of five salespeople. They're talent like we get. I'm not going to say the exact number, but we get enough. We get hundreds and hundreds, almost thousands of inbound leads every month for the system. Yeah, we really did a good job of laying the foundation on the go-to-market side. We're starting to work with a lot bigger brands, like talking to some of the IHOPs and the Church's Chicken and the bigger brands, and yeah, it's been really fun. We raised a little bit of money from Antler, 500K in December of 2024, and then we raised like a seed in a few months ago, 3 or 4 months ago, from a partner out here, Next Coast Ventures, and 10110, who is in LA. And it's been fun, man. It's been like a crazy ride. We're not slowing down. Like we're growing like crazy, hiring new people. We just went on our first company retreat last month, which was really fun to see everybody together. Um, yeah, I think these AI companies are like on such an accelerated timeline now. Um, some of the stuff I see is ridiculous. Like, hey, I'm at like 500 million of ARR in 3 days. It's like, you're not making ARR. That's just not true.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we're a traditional. The cool thing about us though is like we are a traditional B2B SaaS, like
Mhm.
call the salesperson, like do a demo, close the deal same day. In this case, same day, luckily. Um, we're not like a self-service platform yet. Maybe something in the future will happen like that. So we don't have those crazy cursor like ARR numbers yet, but it's been fun. And our pipeline is just bursting at the seams. We feel really good about where we are.
Dude, congrats. That's amazing. What is the secret sauce to this GTM that dumps hundreds of inbound leads your way a month?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll spill a little bit. Like I would say, here's what I'd say. I mean, it's not one thing for sure. Like I laid a ton of foundation for us to be like awesome when it comes to LLMs. Um, Also in SEO. I think a lot of people forget that they need to do SEO in the beginning of the company. Like because it doesn't like do anything for you up front. Like it takes a while before you start seeing results. I started doing SEO from the day we started the company, day I built the website, and it's we get about a quarter of our leads right now from SEO. Um,
Amazing.
but one thing I would say though is you like people like to like if you truly okay, here's a secret is 20% of our leads come from referrals from our own customers. We don't even
Yeah.
have a referral program built. It's
Yeah.
because we build the best product on the market that people want to talk and support your customers, right? Like really, really support your customers. Like be there for them when they need something. Like I got off the phone with a customer just a few minutes ago. They have like 8 locations with us. He's like, there are 2 companies I will never give up. Like these guys are like, they tried to invest in our last round, right? Like if you truly build relationships with your customers and like hang out with them at the show, go out for a beer with them after you go and meet them, like you can if you can win over you have to have the product first, like the product has to work and be the best number one, but if you can truly build the best relationship with your customers too, you've got customers for life. And then the last thing I would say is tell the story and show it. So we do a really good job of telling our customers stories about what it was like before they used Loman, asking them straight up, hey, what's it like now, right? And going and filming that and then putting that on camera. um, that's probably been our biggest win so far, right? Like it's just using telling our tell customer stories, put them on video, and show them to the
Yeah.
world, right?
Hey,
That's
wait,
been
what
that's been working really
platforms? Is
well.
that like YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, all of them?
Yeah, I mean, what's cool about like digital media today, man, is like you shoot if you know what you're doing, you shoot like a long form YouTube video. It doesn't have to be long form. I mean, like 5 to 10 minutes. Let's say 5 to 10 minutes, right? You go out and make sure there's an interview, got a bunch of B-roll, right? We do that for YouTube. Then you could split it up and turn it into shorts
Yeah.
on across every platform, and then that can turn into quote cards, and then that can turn into a blog. Like when you're a small company, you don't have a marketing team. I am the market. There's no marketing people here. It's me.
Yeah.
Um, I I outsource the video creation, but other than that, like it's me. Like you have to learn how to repurpose, and so we do a really good job of that. But yeah, we put it on Meta, like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn. Um, you never know where you're going to hit. The other thing I would say is like know where your ICP is and stop investing where it's not.
Yeah.
Right? Like if your ICP is SMB business owners and all you're doing is going on LinkedIn and posting, like you're not going to find the people you need to find. It's just not going to work. Like
It's not
nobody
only
wants to see.
they're in the
Yeah. And
restaurant. They're not on LinkedIn.
exactly. Yeah. Or they're on Facebook, right? Like it just depends. Like know your ICP and like really, I think that's incredibly important. People forget about that a lot of times. But multi-pronged approach, tell customer stories, know where your ICP is, and feed them what they don't let you do the talking. Let your customers do the talking and your results do the talking, and people will believe you, right? Like an
Yeah.
inherently untrustworthy set of business owners are restaurant owners. Like they're very much like not in line to like help you. But when 20% of them are coming to us saying, "Hey, my buddy Brian told me like you guys are the best on the
Yeah.
market," like there's nothing you have to do. You just say, "Yeah, hey, Brian's awesome. Just saw him last week, whatever." It makes it really easy, which is nice.
Well, you got some crazy numbers. I mean, if a successful restaurant is running 3 to 5% margins, profit margins, and looking at what GBT's telling me about you is talking about, cutting labor costs as much as 17%, improving, takeout margins, 22% or more. Like this is the difference
Yep.
between, a restaurant owner's kids going to college out of state or going to community college, Nothing wrong with community
Yeah.
college, but like this is big, big money.
Yeah. I mean, look, and it depends on how much volume your restaurant is doing, but there's three real big benefits of Loman, right? There's two of them are about revenue and one of them is about labor. And then all the other stuff is intangible and like, but we're going to make you more money because you're missing 30% of your calls. And we're going to answer every single one of those calls. We can answer multiple calls at one time. We're always going to pick up, right? You're missing calls or putting people on hold. You're clearly missing orders. We're going to answer all of those. So that's like an obvious like recapturing of about 30% of the revenue from calls. The second thing is we're going to increase average order value every single time we do take an order, on average, because we are upselling every time, right? So your staff might upsell 5 to 8% of the time. And AI is going to upsell every single time,
Yeah.
100% of the time. Even if it only hits 30% of people, I mean, that's a huge lift in average order value. So those two on the revenue side are beautiful. The third is labor, right? So there's two ways to look at this one. You could save money on labor. Like the pizza place I was talking about before that I was talking on the phone said, I'll never get rid of Loman is like, they're saving about $2,700 in labor a month from using Loman at each location. Now, I have other customers that just repurpose the labor and that they're able to provide better hospitality because their people aren't answering the phone anymore. They are just they can give their full attention. Nobody is ever standing around waiting for a napkin or ask, like, you've seen it. You've done this probably before at a restaurant where you go up to the counter and you're like, "Hey, is anybody around? Like, can I talk to somebody?" That never happens at a Loman restaurant because we always, and if it does, you need to fire the people that are sitting there because they're not doing anything other than running the food out, taking some orders from people inside. Just they're able to focus a lot more. So those are kind of like the big benefits that we lead with when we talk about Loman and that our customers are seeing, and the numbers bear it out. Like we're making them more money, we're making them their ticket size go up, and we're reducing labor or making hospitality just that much better.
Amazing. It's so cool. What percentage of your customers are like mom and pop restaurants? What percent are like kind of like concepts or like chains,
Yep.
for lack of a better word?
It's like 70/30, like 70/30 are like the 1 to 5 locations. 70% is like 1 to 5 locations.
Amazing.
And then 30% are like the like 6 plus. We have some bigger customers as well that have like 20, 30, 40, 50 customer or units. Yeah, but a lot of SMBs, right? Like what's interesting is since everything is inbound, we have one salesperson, or sorry, one SDR that is solely focused on multi units right now. So we're starting to get a
five sales guys. How big's the rest of the team?
It's actually about 4 AEs and one SDR, so it's 5 total. Yeah, our team total, there were 14 people total as a team.
14 people total. How many paying clients?
I'll just say we're north. We're just about 1,000.
1,000. So if I just do this napkin math here, we're at north of $250,000 MRR.
Oh, I'm not going to give you the exact number. That we don't talk about numbers publicly.
Come on, Christian, give us the details.
We are doing very well. I'll just say that, and we're moving really, really quickly.
Dude.
So yeah.
Cool. I love it. Now, one thing came up too. Like, I love that you
Sure.
initiated SEO early on. When you're thinking about SEO, are you optimizing keywords like restaurant AI? Are you going a little bit more deep into pain points, which is like, how to make restaurants more profitable, how to make, like, trying to think of the psychology of like where your ICP is going to be asking Google.
Yeah, it's both, right? Like you have to do long and short tail keywords, right? Like people talk about AI SEO and LLMs, but really it's just the same thing, kind of. Like, but when it comes to regular SEO, you have to do both. You need the short tail keywords that are like restaurant phone AI phone agent, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like the main focus. But then there's tons of long tail stuff that you need to focus on. In this case, it's stuff like you know I don't have enough staff, like my staff can't answer the phone, or like there's like weird keywords that we target that are long tail that don't get nearly as much traffic, but we dominate. Also a lot of there's a lot of tools out there, AI tools that you can use for SEO these days. Um, like both for writing content and for measuring effectiveness.
Yeah.
So we use a lot of those as well. We have some really great tools that we've used in the past, like automated writing tools, like backlink stuff. Like I would say that's probably the one thing that a lot of people, unless you're in just like a crazy crowded SEO market, like a form builder tool, right, where there's like 7,000 of them, if you're not thinking about SEO from the very beginning and you're not on a like you're not just growing super fast, like you should be. That's like the one thing. It's actually not hard because there's so many tools you can just automate it with. Or go pay somebody to do it. Like if you don't know how to
Yeah.
do it yourself, like pay somebody to do it because
Yeah.
it will come back, especially in these early AI, like these AI agent use cases, that it's such a green field for SEO that like if you're not thinking about it, you're just gonna fall behind, right? Like it's not like we're selling an e-commerce product like protein where there's a zillion different things. Like this is like a like go out and grab it market.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're building an AI like and you're not doing SEO right now, you're just screwing yourself.
Yeah. I love it. Christian, this has been so fun. One last question. Half the
Sure.
people I talk to are in Austin. It's like you could throw a piece of barbecue out the window and it would bounce off two AI founders.
That's so funny.
Who are some of your favorite CEOs, entrepreneurs in Austin right now?
Oh man, there's so many. I mean, I'm a big defense guy, right? Like not defense guy. I just love watching. Like I don't build anything in defense. I just love the companies. I don't necessarily need to say like entrepreneurs, but like I would say companies. There's a good syndicate of voice AI companies coming here. There's like from defense, we've got like the Allen Control Systems like stuff out here. There's this really cool. There's this God, what's the name of it? There's a lot of hardware stuff. Like there's the base energy, like there's that. There's a lot of really cool like not software products here. Like you
Hardware
see,
stuff.
yeah, like there's like a few people that I've met as well that are like doing like modular home building. They're like trying to save like America like from the housing crisis. And I'm like, dang, like that's a pretty noble pursuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a company called the American Housing Corporation. I met the founder, which is a really cool company. There's like that base energy company. I think that's super awesome. Um, I've met a few founders in the voice AI space here. It's funny, like some of them, like I think there's a lot of people trying to do it. And so far I can't put my finger on what it is that makes the ones that are end up actually like rising from like the cream of the crop or become rising up like that actually end up building something. I can't really tell what the difference is, but there have been quite a few good voice AI companies here in Austin. I would say there's one called Mia that does it for car auto dealerships.
Yeah.
There's a lot, man. It's so hard, but what I would say is like Austin is like to me the home of like the like non-traditional software, right? Like it's not just software. It's like we're building like power grids and like homes, but like doing it like a startup. And I love stuff like that.
Boxable's out there. I founder him. Boxable's a good buddy of mine. So yeah, to your point, it's like
Okay.
modular housing and like all kinds of next level stuff. Austin's so cool. Being in Denver, I've always felt like Austin and Denver are kind of cousin cities. You know,
100%.
it's pretty cool.
I agree.
Amazing.
I agree, man.
Amazing. This has been so fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Loman AI. Pardon me. Let me get this right. Loman AI to check out more
That's
about
right.
the. Congratulations, man, on the rocket ship. I love the category. I think probably a big differentiator is just like the ease of use. I mean, like there's so many things I want to ask a restaurant, but I don't. But if I'm
Yeah.
calling somebody and they've got Loman, I'm just gonna be like, dude, I got like $80. I'm trying to feed a family of four. You tell me what to get. That's really how I
Yeah.
do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
man. I totally agree. And we won't go any longer, but like that is how I do it. When at a new restaurant, that is exactly how I do it. I'm like, hey, me and my wife have never eaten here. Like, what is the best thing on the menu? And like I swear, 60%, maybe 70% of the time, it's just a kid on the other end of the phone. They're like, oh, it's pretty
I
good.
don't know.
It's like, okay, thanks you for the help. you know?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
anyways, yeah,
Cool.
man, it's been
Want to give a
fun.
shout out to Austin Humane Society as well today. That's austinhumanesociety.org. If you're in that area, go adopt yourself a little doggy or kitty from Austin Humane Society. Christian, what's the best place for people to connect with you online?
Yeah, just you can find me on LinkedIn or Twitter. My name is Christian, Wiens is my last name. Feel free to go add me over there. Happy to chat with anyone, man. I love meeting new founders, new people in the space. And it's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. Bye.
This episode is brought to you by MoBurst, the AI-first growth engine trusted by iconic startups like Calm, Robinhood, Reddit, Uber, and Google. MoBurst is a digital full-service mobile-first marketing agency that helps companies to scale and become category leaders. Whether you're finding product market fit or ready to accelerate growth, MoBurst delivers creative, data-driven solutions that help with scale and efficiency and impact. At MoBurst, we're not just guessing what works, we're predicting it. As an AI-first agency, MoBurst uses cutting-edge tools to analyze user behavior, adapt creative in real time, and uncover hidden growth opportunities. The result, marketing that's faster, smarter, and built to convert. From early-stage startups to global brands, we've helped hundreds of companies overcome complex challenges, unlock new audiences, and optimize every metric that matters. At MoBurst, we believe that creative thinking, advanced technology, and data are the core drivers of success at scale. If you're serious about scaling your business with precision and purpose, it's time to talk to MoBurst. Visit moburst.com and let's build something category-defining together. Hey founders, let me ask you this. Are you building with AI or getting left behind by it? If you're serious about scaling smarter, faster, and bolder, you need to check out aiforfounders.co. It's your go-to resource for cutting through the noise and actually using AI to grow your startup. Each week, AI for Founders drops a sharp, no-fluff newsletter, dives deep with expert guests on the podcast, and hosts monthly workshops where you can get your hands dirty with the real tools and strategies. Whether you're pre-seed or Series B and beyond, launching something new or just staying sharp, AI for Founders gives you the edge you need to win in 2025 and beyond. Hit aiforfounders.co to subscribe to the newsletter, tune into the podcast, and grab your spot in the next workshop. And it's all free. Build smarter, move faster, think bolder with AI for Founders. Now back to the show.